Oh, I see. I'm in muted the whole time. Okay, thank you for letting me know, Aksu. um, I I hope you can hear me now. Um, so right. Ignore, I guess, everything I said. Welcome to this stream. Um, we are doing something I used to do on the channel, which is have a stream where we're trying out a new deck. So we're trying a deck that I have been brewing in the like like basically after Worlds. I started brewing this. I don't remember exactly when I had spare time, and I found it really fun to explore something new. And I think that that's like a perfect thing to talk about on the channel. Um, if there are any questions about Worlds, I'll take those as well. But I don't really feel the need to do a deep dive on it this year. Although I will be talking a little bit about the lat deck for Worlds because it inspired what we're doing today a little bit. So we're doing Stealth Shaper today. Um, and also to Axu in the chat. I hope I'll be at the next nationals. I would like to be. But we'll see. We'll see. Um, Same for the Malmo meetup. Um, but yeah, sometimes life is just there's more important life stuff than Netrunner sometimes. But right now, after Worlds, I'm feeling very up on the game. Um, Down on the meta and card pool in some ways, but um, I find it really fun post Worlds when there isn't this immediate pressure to perform well, to just like try new things. It's also fun trying the list that people brought to Worlds. Um, and yeah, so I've been trying like, Council's Vampire Hoshiko, for example, which is pretty fun. It's actually very similar to some stuff I was trying before, but I think I didn't have the right mix of cards. Like there was one time I was trying Lily Pad and stuff like that, and it didn't really gel. Um, I mean, it was great in some games actually, but like, um, because you have a lot of the same threats, like the Chisel Charm stuff or whatever. You get to do like a lot of bullshit things. You get to get Lily Pad draw with Gachapons and stuff. But like Bling is in faction, and you kind of do the same thing, and you actually trigger it a lot, so it's cheaper to install. And this kind of deck, like installing a Lily Pad, is really expensive. And I was trying to still have regular breakers because I felt like, oh, I need them for all these different situations that might occur, but that might just be wrong. Although you can run out of breaking capability with the vampire list, um, yeah, it's I guess maybe it's better to just accept that. Um, anyway, um, Janice says can't find any fun corp which isn't Scrub. What is Scrub? Um, Please let me know. In terms of fun corp, yeah, I don't know. I think it depends on what you like to play. But I feel like um, I'm sort of motivated by this. I will get into it with the list, but I'm motivated by um, just yeah, looking at the card pool and feeling like there are things that you can do that maybe aren't fully explored. That's how it feels to me. So to get into the discussion about the stealth lat, this lat that is the one that at least be starting to jam today. I want to first talk a little bit about the deck that I brought to Worlds. So this is actually very similar to something that William brought to Worlds last year. Um, there was an announcement. Okay, I will let Aksu derail me. Uh, Wait, is this is it's the startup one? Is that the one you want? Um, Yeah, that must be it. That's the only one today. Startup. Look, Axel. I don't, I don't play this format, so I actually have no idea what's going on in startup. But let's see. We got a ban of coalescence and Estebrado banned. Let's see what they are saying. Um, mhm. So they said we wanted to open up the availability of new cards in the startup format. We tried to do this through two main avenues. Firstly, by unbanning generically powerful economy to support decks that cannot afford to spend as many slots on an economic engine. And secondly, by making targeted bans to unlock new cards that would be overshadowed by existing powerful alternatives. Sounds good in theory. Since then, we've seen a variety of Arizona, Maggie, Muslihat, and Mercury decks soar in both popularity and win rate as they overpower almost all corps with economic dominance and consistent bypass strategies. So that's very interesting. Um, these IDs, particularly Arizona, Muslihat, and Mercury, seem like IDs that will be really good in formats um, where like the amount of weird corp decks is low, like or I shouldn't say weird, but like alternative win conditions. Like um, if the format is forcing corps to rely heavily on ice, like the kill options aren't very strong, the tagging options aren't very strong, then like these lists or IDs that like just sort of like get accesses or do tricks versus ice become really strong. So I think one of the reasons in Arizona isn't played a lot in standard right now is that it's just like ice is one problem, but it isn't like all of your problems. There's a lot of other bullshit you need to deal with, like a Yuko tags and damage whatever. Um, I guess another thing about Arizona is like the whole Arizona engine is kind of nerfed because now the only like zero strength, zero cost Trojan that you can actually bounce with your urban art is what's it called again? Flux Capacitator, uh, which works with the Poison Vial Slap Vandal combo pretty well, but it feels like maybe that's all that you can do in Arizona right now, or you just go like maybe without an engine, and you just kind of exploit the ID to get the clickless self-modifying codes or the entanglers or whatever. But anyway, I could see in startup that these kind of IDs could become like big problems. Um, so Estobrado getting banned is actually a council meme for standard is Estobrado being banned, but I can even though it's a joke, I can still see the rationale behind a change like that. Um, it kind of depends on what the format is like, but like Estobrado is kind of encouraging you to not care about ice. So it's basically saying like, well, you installed all this ice, but I'm just not gonna like meaningfully interact with it at all. It's installing an extra ice means one more click, and suddenly you need 3 ice on a server for you not to be able to do your big dig, the big dig energy. So yeah, makes like I have no idea what startup format is like right now, but I can see that making a lot of sense, like in a small format, especially. Coalescence being banned. Wow. Um, well, that hits a lot of like the Shaper engines right now, because like Shaper access to, at least in standard, Shaper access to generic money is like, even if you're playing an Anacam based list, it's reliant. It's still most of those lists use coalescence. Um, so because if you have the coalescence, you get the DZMZ synergy, and you can play the spec works in an event-based list, and in the program-based lists, you some people play spec works, people play knickknack, but like the coalescence is still essential. So here, I guess you can't do knickknack stuff. You can't do spec work stuff as well, with Coalescence gone. Um, if it wasn't for those cards, the card wouldn't be that great. Um, so I guess it has to do with that. Let's see what the reasoning is. So since the unbanning of Creative Commission, we've seen Shaper decks consistently able to overwhelm corporations with raw economic advantage, usually by using it as a bounce back tool to supplement a powerful long-term economic engine driven by Nick O'Brien. So that's really interesting because that's what I was playing in Standard. Actually, I guess we can pull up that list since we went down this rabbit hole. So we search for lists. Lat, Bridgeman. Do this. This right here. I don't know which cards here you wouldn't be able to play in in startup. A new addition would be Creative Commission, also in standard since the last ban list, so that should improve the deck. This is something I was actually considering playing for Worlds, and yeah, this deck, like if you just let it be and give it the setup time, yeah, it has an amazing engine. So in a slower format where corps have less ways to like rush or kill or put pressure on the runners, I could see this actually being a problem. Because yeah, if the case is that you're basically gonna go to the late game and that's it, a list like this I think makes a lot of sense. Because over time it's just gonna have more money than a lot of the runners, and it has pretty good like tools to break stuff. Like if you're up against some kind of glacier, you can eventually reach an echelon at the strength that you need it to be at. You can have a high strength rising tide. Yeah, and Unity is like a pretty good breaker. Yeah. Now there are all kinds of reasons actually why this should not be played in standard. That's a fun part of the story of the lad I was about to talk about. So actually, let's put it over here because that's part of the story. So, what's up, Jai? I'm doing good. How are you? It's actually really fun to do a stream again. So let's see. They're saying we're hoping that removing the most powerful piece of that engine, which provides a 2 to 6 credit swing up to 6 or more times in a game, will curtail a shaper's economic advantage. 6 or more times. I guess because you can muse it. Yeah, and so you can still muse that thing. I don't know if you have Simulchip in startup. I would assume you don't. So maybe if you have a way to recur muse, you could do it even more. Muse is interesting for these lists because you're paying. Yeah, you're with Knickknack. I guess you're paying $2 more, and you need to wait one more turn, but in return you get like one more card. So the Coalescence is like much better than the Muse, but the Muse is still good because you still get the money back for it. And it can fetch your Coalescence back, so like you still play it. Interesting. Yeah, so that sounds good. Congrats to the starter players. Estebrado, I think, so let's see what they say. With both Muslet and Mercury overperforming, it seemed natural to hit a powerful run event that is also a bypass tool. We have seen Mercury relying a little too much on simply overwhelming the corporation with bypass. I mean, that's kind of what Mercury is all about, right? And would much rather see the rogue Byroid finding openings on all 3 central cards like Eru, Beatrice, or creating economic openings with tools such as Transfer of Wealth and Meglectric Rapid. Yeah, I mean, I guess it sounds like more fun gameplay than the Estebrado. Um, I think Mercury probably is like, well, okay, I can only speak for standard, but Mercury without this Estebrado in standard would be like much worse. That makes it a lot more tricky to actually use the ID. Because a lot of it is about the fact that Estebrado can make a dig sort of inevitable. So you're like, I'm gonna do a 5 card dig, and you can't really stop me. I'm gonna see those 5 cards, and if there's an agenda, I win. If there's not, maybe I lose. Um, so yeah. So hitting Hestebrado, yeah. I like it, just on vibes. Let's see what Axe is saying. My face when shapers do shaper things. Um, like yeah, people are hating on Shaper, but like I feel like Shaper is like the least bullshit it has been in like the history of the game right now. I feel like Shaper just feels like pretty fair, and Shaper can, yeah, I feel like it's in a good spot. Like Shaper has some good breaking solutions for things, but they don't have disruption. So they have good breaking solutions. They have good ways to dodge kill. They don't have good disruption, and they don't have good like recurring credits. So they need to constantly get more credits with like burst stuff, unless you play like a knickknack engine that's kind of like recurring credits. Not really, but kind of. Um, and then you have like criminal, which has economic disruption, a lot of fast money. You're able to put on more pressure. Um, and like Anarch is like, it has like all the drip. It has like trashing cards. Yeah, and a bunch of bullshit ways to trash ice. So it's like, yeah, I don't feel like Shaper bullshit is Shaper bullshit right now. I feel like it feels very fair. Um, but yeah, I mean everyone's gonna have their own feelings about that. Aesop's plus Harbinger would have killed a startup player 100%. We could just ban Mercury from the game in total. Yeah, I mean, you could. I think I think maybe for a format like Startup, Estebrado would still be a problem. Um, and I feel like Mercury on its own isn't that problematic. It feels like Estebrado is like, making it more problematic than it really, needs to be otherwise. Because like the ID isn't that cracked, I think. Um, Burner is not good disruption. Actually, so about Burner, because I'd actually been trying it a little bit in different lists, and I feel like Burner is one of those cards like it, it looks really good. Then you actually play it, and it turns out there's all kinds of problems with it. So if you get to hit an open HQ, that's actually a pretty good trade. Like you see 3 cards, you can get rid of 2 of them. You also, if you see agendas, you could put them on R&D, or you can keep them in HQ and then go back and get them in HQ. So that like seems pretty good. Once you start having to go through an ice on HQ, and then also realizing that, oh, now I need to go through another ice on another server to go and get these agendas, then it's yeah, it starts feeling like not so great. And then on top of that, there's like things like Moonpool and Spin Doctor to get around it. So um, yeah, you a lot of the time you'd rather be playing something where you just get the accesses like a compilation or twinning, where it's like I'm just gonna see this amount of cards. Um, yeah. Um, what else are they saying? Why not Trick Shot? Well, Trick Shot is undeniably a powerful and format-defining card, with almost all highly performant decks playing the full 3 copies. It is performing valuable service in keeping the format healthy by holding in check 2 otherwise extremely powerful corporation decks. Nebula, yep, demands that the runner basically makes a run every single turn, or most of the turns. and that's, I guess, allowing them to pressure Nebula. Leo is presented with an important and often game-deciding choice. Use your ability to keep the runner from seeing 2 cards on R&D, or hold back to end the run on the remote server. We feel banning Trickshot would cause these identities to rise above an acceptable power level in the format. Yeah, I have no comments. I don't know what the format is like. Trickshot is a pretty good card though. What else? Which card? Oh, they were considering Tributary? No, like Tributary is just like should have never been printed, and it's not like, yeah, it's a bad design card. Yeah, it shouldn't be back. Okay, fair enough. So this is the full ban list. That's kind of neat that the ban list is pretty clean. Also symmetric. They have 3 on each side, but only after these bans. Cleaver band, Coalescence, Estrabado. Okay. Okay, cool. So we looked at that. Actually, I guess I do want to briefly bring. So we're gonna talk about the lat now, and I do want to bring in Williams' list from like last year. Jai says Sumak and Musk existing is good for the game. Maskirovka, I guess. I think I agree with that. Finn, do you have an opinion on 2024 Classic decks? You mean like what those Classic decks would be? Lat versus Asa. I mean, so I'm like, I feel like, so I was playing a decent amount in that meta, but like I guess my biased opinion, well actually maybe it's not the best matchup. But I feel like maybe the World Tree Ari versus like the RH or something like that would be it for me. But I was playing decks that people weren't really playing during that whole format. So I don't know. Anyway, so back in 2024 Worlds, William brought an Anicam lat to Worlds, and it was on this extremely like lean rig. To me, it's still crazy that the list looks like this. To be honest, there's 2 propellers to break barriers, and there's nothing else in this list, which is totally wild to me. I mean, there is a turbine to make it so you have to use fewer of those counters. There are 3 symbol chips to get propellers back, but like, yeah, I'm still amazed by this. But obviously, like William did really well with this, so this is some kind of magic that I do not understand. And of course, there is a deep dive to make it so, like, your runs are very impactful. So a small amount of propellers can be enough. So this general shell with the Anicam and event based, of course, you could play Trickshot back then. Is pretty nice. You can, like, you're pretty resilient to kill with the Anicams and the stone ships. You can play Hana and Perisha, or nowadays Azimat, for assets and stuff. And this, yeah, so you have good acetate, you have ways to survive kill, and then you just need to beat like heavy ice, which there are some like cards in here that do that. So yeah, cool list, and that's like kind of the logic behind that. For this world, I was considering like something like this, but with 3 creative commissions. I think that what I was trying was like it was cutting a harmony and into the depths and a self-modifying code for 3 Creative Commission was like my main candidate for a new version of this post ban list. Um, I actually shout out to Vlad because he had made some version of my list with the new ban list where I was like, yeah, I could do something like that. Although he was on 46 cards, which I absolutely refuse. I refuse to be on 46. But yeah, trying something like that. But uh, as we knew from the online showdown that Epiphany was a strong deck. And I guess if we didn't know it from that, we knew it at least from our internal testing. Um, I was even more so when I got to the Airbnb and tried it a bit more. I was like, yeah, actually, this Epiphany is very scary, and you need to make sure you have like specific answers to deal with it. Now, it actually didn't up. Epiphany wasn't that represented at Worlds. It wasn't huge. I think it was like 19 people. Don't quote me on that. That was playing it, but obviously it ended up winning the event. So being prepared for Epiphany, I feel like I'm justified in thinking that I should be prepared for it. And this list wasn't really it. Like even if you put Azamat in this, you had issues with your some like a lot of your economy being tied up in like environmental testings and knickknack, which can get bounced with working prototype, and that's kind of fine if you can clean up their board. But the problem is you don't have that much burst econ here, so it's like you kind of need to pop the testings to have the money to then go and trash their stuff. But in the time that you're taking to try to get this off, their board is escalating too much. So I found that really scary. And even though this seemed like decent into Leo, but it wasn't like a given win or anything. It's like, okay, the Leo matches is okay, but maybe not the best. And then Epiphany is a problem, and there's general consistency issues with the deck because you need to find your knickknack. So I started to like kind of panic runner side because when we were testing the RH that we were playing, um, I started feeling like instead of corpse being bad, I started feeling like runner being bad because I was suddenly finding that wait a minute, Epiphany is pretty good. I guess Leo is okay, although I wasn't super feeling it. But the RH was feeling good, and also I was seeing there's all kinds of weird like other angles you can get hit from, like tags, damage, whatever. And we saw different ways that can occur at Worlds as well. Now maybe I didn't know the exact way that would like take shape, but like a Yuko ended up being a thing with kill false lead lists. Um, so it's just like in the back of your head that there's going to be some kind of kill stuff that you need to account for. And suddenly I was feeling like actually on the runner side, it's actually kind of hard to account for all these possibilities and not have like terrible matchups in some cases. Like how do you get like a well-rounded deck? I started seeing all kinds of threat, and this list didn't feel flexible enough to do that. Plus, it was a little bit inconsistent. So William had been working on a lat list similar to his comfort pick last year. And again, for me, this is like madness, special sauce William stuff that is like beyond my level of understanding. Uh, so when I tried his list a little bit, it was initially on two transfers of wealth. So these 3 fermenters and the Mamie were 2 transfer of wealth, and then I think there was a third simul chip and something else that I don't remember. And I tried it a bit, and I felt like because we were testing it into RH, and I was like, well, don't you kind of just? Oh yeah, initially it was also not on the pressure spike; it was on 3 propellers. So again, there was no permanent barrier breaking solution, just like last year. And that's scary to me. There was a Palangi, but that's also not a permanent solution. So I was like, yeah, I don't know about this. Like, I feel like it feels scary that I can run out of these counters. Um, the RH was hard to face, and I figured we're not necessarily the only ones who's gonna be on something like that. You're gonna be up against Leo, and it's like, are you really gonna have enough breaking capability? Maybe, maybe not. Um, so I was initially feeling like, nah, I can't play that deck. But after finding all these issues with other things, it was like the night before the event, and my voice was bad. Um, I was still sick. I was getting better, and I was hoping to be able to play the next day, which I did after getting to sleep a little bit. Still not feeling amazing, but like good enough to play. Um, so we were talking, me, William, and Peter H. We were talking, but I had to write down all my thoughts to them. um, so one of the things that I pitched was, okay, why don't we just play this list, but we try to make the economy package better. William was already a little bit skeptical of the transfers after the team event. Not because he played them, but he played a similar list and felt like maybe it wasn't the right call. And he was also feeling like there needs to be a permanent breaking solution for barriers. So this made intuitive sense to me because that's what I had been feeling all along. So, but of course, for previous lists, it had worked better. But maybe this is just a different scenario. I don't quite know the details there. And William made the whole shell for this deck. So yeah, I was just like, what if we just cut the 2 transfers, put in 3 fermenters, and then maybe for like more econ, and we still have this lean package. And the benefit of this is like we get to have big econ package like the Knick-Knack Lat, but it's basically all in fermenters that either give us a bunch of money or delay our opponent, and then the Mamie also helps with money, and then we just like all the other money comes from the events. And it made a lot of intuitive sense to me because then we still get to have this not dying to random kill package, Stoneship Anacam. We still get to have the burst econ and the Azimuth Hana for Epiphany that should just kind of like kill Epiphany. Burst econ plus Azimuth is like really good into Epiphany. You can kind of just like keep clearing their board. There's even direct access for Epiphany though, although that's probably like not necessary. It was not put in there for Epiphany. It was something William put in there to deal with Leo. But so that was the idea of this list. And so the thing that it needs beyond surviving kill is just like, okay, can we win against ice? So the direct access makes sure we get in versus Leo in combination with the pinholes, and the fermenters ensure we have enough money. And then there's a cataloger as a closer versus Glacier that you can actually charge with your chart rooms. So these can be kill protection, but they can also just make the cataloger really strong. And this card actually ended up being really good in the event, like amazing, to the point where I have this feeling now that I kind of want to try to have 2 in my lists. And especially amazing is if you can play rigging up and get 3 counters on that thing. So that's like what happened with this list. It ended up like doing okay in the event. I think it's pretty good. But post Worlds, I wanted to just experiment, and then having the experience of playing this gave me a lot of new ideas, and thinking about what other things can we put in a similar shell to this. Peter H had been showing me when I was desperately testing all kinds of runners as I was getting weary on the runner side. One of the things I looked at was a stealth lat list that he had made. And actually I ended up not like I ended up what I brewed ended up being very different from what he built, but it inspired me to try to see what I could do with Mantle. um, in Shaper. And initially, um, I think I really wanted to do something with chromatophores and afterimage, because it really appealed to me that this is a way that you can like bypass Bran for $2. And I was like, that seems amazing. So the early lists were trying chromatophores, um, and there was an idea there that you'd have chromatophores for the glacier decks, and then you'd be able to deal with other decks in some other way. Um, However, that ended up feeling quite clunky. I don't remember the entire process now, but um, the general idea of it um, was like, okay, I was trying to make something work with Afterimage and Mantle. What I ended up on was like chromatophores felt like it wasn't really the thing, because like you can't really pre-install it. It's soft to like boomy, and I yeah, it's soft to boomy. Um, it's a bit hard to make use of, really. Um, so I ended up being on Palangi instead, because like you can just, you're still pretty efficient. Um, if you have Palangi and you just boost the after image and then just break normally instead of bypassing, that's good enough. So eventually you can assemble a rig where you have Palangi and an after image, and you can break really cheaply. So if you're up against a slow deck, then you have the time to assemble an after image with a game dragon. Is kind of the thing. I don't know how much sense this makes. So Game Dragon you can put on the after image to just break like all the 3 strength sentries super cheap. Like without using stealth credits, you can break Drafter for 1. You can break Boomy for 1. So that is like already a big selling point. Just put a Game Dragon on the after image and it's good. But it can also be used to like break high strength sentries, or you combine it with Palangi to be able to break like any high strength thing of any type. I guess you can't like for Bran. I guess you pay 2 mantle credits and then 2 real credits to break Bran if you have Palangi. So maybe you're not like saving that much. But yeah, that's sort of the logic. And the recurring mantle credits give you money over time. So the inspiration taken here is like the lean parts I wanted to keep Anicam, the chart rooms. This one is only on 2 because I have an extra cataloger instead. So I don't need them for the charge in. I just need them to like survive kill mostly. And then yeah, the influence ended up so you can play like Trickster Taka and stuff in stealth. But something that I found really appealing from testing against Epiphany and other things is the idea that you're not super resource reliant. So like if you're in situations where you get tagged, you're basically fine unless they have some punishment. And this lets us play Transfer of Wealth. The Transfer of Wealth is doing like a bunch of things. So against rushy decks, it's either they respect it and they have to slow down, or they don't respect it and they can get punished. Both are like fine for us. So good versus fast decks because it makes them slow down and it creates an opportunity for us to disrupt them because we're playing this slow rig with Mantle, and like it takes some time to set up. And against slower decks, we have time to set up our mantles and stuff, which means eventually we'll be able to transfer them in a very cost-efficient way because we're setting up in a way where we're getting past their ice pretty cheaply, is the logic anyway. Now you may be questioning this a little bit because it's like, well, there's only one Palangi, and after image is sure it's efficient, but the other one's not so much. And it's like, yeah, it's kind of true. You do also just have like recurring credits in general, which makes all of your breakers better. But the yeah, um, but yeah, it's the after image is like clearly the best. Um, yeah, so basically we're what we ended up doing, because we're trying to have mantle and stuff, is just like, okay, we have the same survivability, we have the asset amount for assets, and then we, instead of having the Hana and stuff, we're just adding a bit more disruption to be better against the faster decks or kill type decks. So we can like kind of like shut them down or slow them down. And then we hope to have enough recurring credits to close things out. So that's the whole logic behind the list. And then you have the whole like Anacam engine with a bunch of events to get through your deck. And this deck is also like playing 3 rituals to dig through it faster, and 2 rigging ups. I would kind of like 3, but this is what I could fit in the list. Because we do have a decent amount of targets here. Coalescence, most of the breakers are good targets, and Cataloger is a really good target because we get that extra charge on it. Yeah, so that's like what we're trying today. And I want to. Yeah, I've played it a bit actually for Axu. I've already recorded a few games where I play this. For whenever I come on your podcast, because we can use it as the background material. I was thinking, so there's already some content on this list, but we're gonna start playing this today. If we come up with any ideas, we can change it as we go. But this has been feeling like sort of like my final version of this. But like you can always try something new as well. So yeah, we're gonna play a bit of this. Also, some notes on cards that we are not playing. Kagoskap mentioned MU Safecracker, and a big problem you run into brewing stealthless right now is like we used to have Netmerker, which just meant like spending stealth credits got you more stealth credits. You just had more stealth credits in general. It was just a really good card for stealth. And now, like, yeah, this was each run, so this would give you an extra stealth credit each run if you needed it, which is like amazing for a stealth deck. Now our stealth credits are incredibly limited. We can import Taka, but Taka is also limited and costs influence, and I kind of wanted to go for this transfer plan. So yeah. Because of that, I'm only playing one of the stealth breakers because we're never gonna have enough stealth credits to support more than one stealth breaker with only the mantles. Even then, it's kind of tricky because you need to take some time to get those mantles online, and yeah, we're not playing the Taka just because I wanted to be on this transfer package. So that's why we're not playing Safecracker. That's kind of also why we're not playing Penrose, because we just end up being even more reliant on Mantle. Penrose is otherwise like a pretty decent card. It's just like you just don't have that many stealth credits. We would kind of like to have Atake in there if we had the influence, but I feel like the transfer is actually really important here to make sure that like we get the setup time that we need. Yeah. Also, this is interesting. So I actually was trying to brew stealth in Criminal 2. That that project is still something I could like continue with a bit. But people were also putting this in Anarch, where it may just be better because you have the Leech in faction. So Leech is incredibly good both for Buzzsaw and for Afterimage. So like it makes a lot of sense. And you can also import Mantle. So yeah, this was actually doing well at Worlds. So like maybe if you want to do stealth, this is actually the way to do it. Especially like if you want to go for Afterimage. But this is not what we're trying today. And you get the Taka in faction here. So having the leech and the taka for free is kind of cool. So like, this is something maybe for me to try a bit later. I've also played against it, and it seems like a pretty decent deck. It was something people were trying in the run-up to Worlds. Yeah, so I guess we went through all these. I want to take a quick break, but I do want to. I haven't looked at chat at all, so I'm gonna take a quick break, come back, reply to chat, and then we'll do some games with the stealth lat and see if we want to make any changes. So see you soon. Hello, hello. Oh my god. Well, thank you guys for trying to inform me that um that I was muted. That was that was so disappointing. I was answering so many of the questions. Um yeah. Um I guess I'll try to speed run through the questions instead. Sorry about that, guys. So yeah, yeah. Uh yeah, it sucks cuz I was when I read your message, Aksu, I somehow thought it was from before. And there's so much multitasking to do when you're streaming. Uh, and then I was like scrolled up here to answer all of the old questions. Oof. Yep, sorry about that. But I'm back again. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you'll never know what I said, but I'm gonna try um to like speed run that, I guess. Um, so yeah. So I was replying to Jai saying I'm an RH gamer, which is totally true. I was played in 23 and 24 with the punitive list, although this new list is very different. Um, it's more like up my old Glacier days alley. It's more like a Palana list of old that I also used to really enjoy. Um, do. Oh yeah, and I did pull up the D build. Oh, and I was saying about Janice was saying I don't know how Epiphany survives turn one Azimuth, and I think Epiphany doesn't survive turn one Azimuth against the right build, against the build with enough burst economy, because you still need to be able to clear oppo tags and stuff, um, and have enough leftover money to like keep clearing the assets. Because when you go for such a one-sided or like one-dimensional strategy, as just like I'm just gonna pick off like at least one asset each turn, you actually need to have money left over to be able to do that beyond the 2 credits. I mean, depending on the asset, but you get what I'm saying. So, um, but like the lat I was playing, it was if you spent your money early trashing stuff, even with the Azimuth, sometimes it would be problematic to get back up on money because some of the things that gave you money, like environmental testing, like you would need to invest money first to get the money out of it and would take some time before you got it. So that would be problematic as a resource. If you get tagged and you can't clear it and you try to install it, they can trash it. So uh, so that's like one of the reasons that I ditched that build was that like even with the tech it wasn't doing well enough into Epiphany, whereas the other lad seemed like it could just stay on top of the Epiphany the entire time and never let it get that chance to snowball. um, the other question was if the direct access came in clutch, and it absolutely did. Like it it makes the Leo matchup favored, and I think it would otherwise probably be an unfavored matchup. But with the direct access, it makes it favored. They can void you, but if you just like manage to pinhole the void, or they don't draw the void, then direct access just gets you in, and you can shuffle it back. You can use it any amount of times. You have the Mamie to pay for it even later game. That's just a nice side benefit. Um, but yeah, it made it so winning against Leo felt kind of like a given in the event, and I played against Leo twice and won both times. And I think I maybe wouldn't have if it wasn't for, or probably wouldn't have if it wasn't for direct access. So yeah, direct access was clutch. Um, did you Jai, yeah, Jai got the mug because I got sick. Yeah, amazing performance at the team event by you guys. That was crazy. I'm a I'm a little sad I didn't get to enjoy that, but it gave me some more time to prepare instead. And also there was a question about if pressure spike can be used when you simulchip. Sorry, if you can pay with mantle when you simulchip for pressure spike. And no, you can't, because mantle only pays for programs, for using hardware and programs, not installing hardware and programs. So you can use it for SMC because that's a paid ability on a program that costs credits. So you can use it for that. That's actually kind of neat. So the mantles in the list actually make our self-modifying codes cheaper to use. So that's nice. You can also combine that with DZMC sometimes. If we use the DZ on our turn, and then we like install a self-modifying code, then on our opponent's turn we can pop the self-modifying code, get this discount, and also make use of the mantle credits even before we're breaking stuff. So that's kind of nice that mantle can be used before we're even running stuff. And would you rather have a child that is an ESA player or a Mercury player? That's a good question, Aksu. I'd probably go with oof. I mean, it's like I dislike both the IDs, and then at the same time, there's something about them that I like. But I guess, good question. I have to think about that. I feel like, I mean, I feel like right now, ESA. Estebrado stuff is just too derp for me. Although there is something about, there's something in my spirit that wants me to play just crim builds that are just incredibly YOLO, where you need to make all the right runs in all the right places. You could argue that Mercury isn't that; it's just kind of derp, run an open central, which would be fair. So I guess ESA, but there is a little bit of a soft spot for Mercury too, although not fun to play against. Yeah, and thanks everybody for trying to get me to understand that I was muted. Yeah, okay, we're finally back. We're finally caught up to the present. The new list is very Palana-esque. 100%. Yeah, it's this is what I do. I go down memory lane. So everyone's going to have to just endure that. But like I think going back in time can, teach us something about the present sometimes. I guess in real life and in Netrunner too. So I was something like this for Worlds 2020. And to be honest, if you could play Palana instead of RH in this deck, you 1,000% would. Like, you're already 49 cards. Palana is going to trigger a whole bunch. And it's going to be easier to trigger than this. And sure, sometimes you want to ice archives, but with RH, you're sort of forced to ice archives. With Palana, you'd be more able to just rush your agendas out. So, yeah. Good old days where you could play Engram, Flush, and Slot Machine. Although, kind of wild of me that I'm only on one slot machine, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Wow. I guess I found that sometimes they just run through this. I don't know. But yeah, this deck was really cool. All right. Let's actually do a game that I've been promising everybody that we're gonna play games. So we gotta I will remember this time. Streaming. Also, Aksu, when am I gonna be on the pod, huh? Drew, I should do caps. That's the more aggressive way. Like how Axu tells me I'm muted. Um, there we go. Stealth 5.0. That's this one. So backtrack, Jack says, so while installing with Simulchips, you are no longer using Simulchip. You are, but Simulchip is a hardware and not a program, and Mantle cannot be used for hardware, I believe. Oh, I mean, okay. I actually missed that part. It can be used for hardware. I've read the card and now I know the card, but using is like paying for its ability, but it's the cost of its ability isn't to pay credits. The cost of its ability is to trash itself. So the install cost is not part of using it. That's part of resolving the ability, is I guess the explanation. Is this a good hand? Ritual is nice, commission is nice, double overclock. Not what we want. The rest is fine though. So maybe we take it. The early propeller it could be nice. I feel like this is probably fine. If we draw an SMC now, then we have like a way to fetch our after image or whatever. Have you thought about corporate sales teams wiki? I have I have not. Oh, I have asked Brandon, but bro is not responding, man. Okay. Let's see. Ritual. Oh, okay. Okay, we are kind of dudding this early game. But I mean, it's okay. So one thing I can you can feel sad when you don't get like the kind of the drip that you want, the DZMZs, the SMCs, the Anicam. Those are like the good early game cards. But at the same time, if you're lat and the game is going slowly and they're not doing much, you're pretty happy with a passive corp because you're just drawing these free cards in the meantime. So it's like it's really usually not a bad deal for you. This seems like a very bad hand because you wouldn't normally expect them to have played some kind of econ operation by now. Oh, we get a face-up Basalt. This is actually crazy because if we steal this, that is... It doesn't even, like, give the corp a card. So that's, like, very tempting. We have to be careful with the bang gun damage. We could lose the pressure spike, although we have a Simulchip in the deck that could bring it back. So I'm thinking I want to pop this to see more cards, because if we get SMC here, we could just, let's see, SMC, Propeller, Overclock. We still have a click left over then. It's not what I wanted. But just installing Propeller and running is not bad. And then we have 2 more clicks after. Yeah, it's fine. Because normally, yeah, this would be a barrier. Yeah, we lose the pressure spike and the coalescence, but it's okay. Like, if we get oppoed now, we're not sad about it because the corp is not really in the economic position to like punish us. Big oppo can be played, but yeah. So it worked out. That's one thing I really like about this list is just like whenever the game not much is happening, you're just kind of happy. You can just like set up your mantles, prepare to transfer them, and then when stuff is happening, you can consider playing the transfer, or pushing, or just taking more time to set up. Yeah, so again, not much is happening, so we just keep digging. So Azimuth is not useful, so we're going to pitch that so we can overdraw. Oh, spec work. So we could install the coalescence and play the commission, and then pitch the Azimuth, and then that lets it spec work on the next turn. All right, so this is looking very good because it looks like the bang gun has like a total dud hand. From the looks of it, it seems like there's like only agendas in hand because nothing is being played. So this is a very strange game. Oh, is this another face up? Nope, not a face up. Although pitching a bunch of cards, so I wouldn't be super surprised if this is a spin doctor and these are agendas getting shuffled back. So if we do this, we go to 7. We still have 3 clicks, so we could check and play 2 cards. Yeah, so that's fine. We can check here. Alright, so actually no spin doctor, just... Yeah, this guy must be super flooded, and we're not worried about measured response because we have enough money. So we can just play this and get the DZMZ value and get the lat draw. Oh, actually we don't get the lat draw because Basalt got a government subsidy back. That's very unfortunate that they have government subsidy, but they're not on any money. This seems like a new player because if you're in this kind of position where you have the government subsidies, it seems natural that you would be clicking up so that you could actually use them. It sucks, but it's better than just like overdrawing and then drawing more agendas. Okay. I mean, this again really does seem like a spin doctor. I think let's check that it is. Okay, it's not. This is like a snare or something. Getting hit with snare is honestly fine. We would just... Do we need to run this? I don't feel... I feel like... Okay, it's fair enough to check this. Angelique. Sure. And... okay, so here we could install the SMC, and then we could get the after image on his turn. Is there any way we die here? Hedge measured response, we have enough to pay for one of the measured responses. So that's okay. And we do get the lat draw. Okay, finally clicking up for credits. And just installing a card. I think if we're up against Bandgun, we probably don't pressure the remote unless there's a face-up agenda. Because even if they score, it's like then the ID is just blank. So we could draw up to 8, then rigging up this and play the sure gamble, worst case. Which still seems really good. Transfer is nice, but we don't have to use it now. Unity, okay. So we're starting to get a rig together. Unity for 2. And we don't need to be high on money this turn. So we can just get it on the board and get the draw. I guess the only thing we're scared of now is a sentry with more than 4 strength. Okay, so now suddenly, now suddenly the corp has a lot of money, and I feel the need to be more wary of snares and stuff like that. So is there anything they would play? So Winchester is 4, and that's fine. So we could, if it's Winchester, we could just transfer. What sentry would be higher strength? Like Stavka? I feel like you wouldn't play Stavka here. But I also feel like I'm in such a good position that there's no need to take a risk. If we play this, we pop it, we go to 7, we can play 3 cards. That seems fine. Oh, actually it's tricky because because we would have to spec work to play 3 cards. We don't want to play transfer this turn. Okay, so let's just I guess let's just gamble and take a credit, and we can relax. We as long as we find another agenda, we win the game, and there's already a cataloger with 3 counters, so yeah, things are looking good. Spin can mess with cataloger. So the fact that the naked cards can be snare but could also be spin doctorate is a little bit annoying. But it's okay. We do have a lot of charges on. Right. So there is already a measured response in here. I think we play this. Oh, this is a little bit frustrating because we would like to play the SMC and an overclock, but we don't have the memory. We didn't get our Anacam yet. Maybe we can draw for it. Otherwise, we'll just have to pitch this because our hand is sort of a brick right now. Mantle is good, but we will have to pitch the SMC now, yeah. Oh, actually, we could mantle transfer, but then no, but then we add, yeah, because then we end our turn tagged. So I think we try to get rid of the spin doctor. We do survive double measured. does pop. So measured can't be played. And we pitch this. This is very good because we can start getting the transfers out of our hand. And if we play them click 1, then even if we hit a snare, then... Oh, it was another spin doctor. Which is a good reason to run the other naked card. I just feel like hitting a snare right now is unnecessary. But yeah, if we transfer now... Oh. I guess now there could be another... Well, okay, if we hit the first ice and it's sentry, I guess we can still jack out, and we haven't spent that much. So I feel that's probably a reasonable risk. So let's go for it. Descent, so that's fine. We break it. We don't use the stealth credit. Yeah. Okay, and now we can actually use the stealth credit because we know what this is. And let's hope we don't hit a snare. So end of the line. So transferring now is a little risky because if we hit snare, well, actually, would we die? We can serve? Well, yeah, we could get Angeliqued after an end of the line if we transfer now. So I think the right call is to run here to get the Spin Doctor pop. And then we just clear. Yeah. Okay, it was him pitching agendas. Right, so then it's just take Bach, clear. And we get the draw. Kagoskev says, can't you just cataloger win? And that is true, but I don't... If I see an agenda, then I win. I just don't feel like I'm in a rush to do that. Oh, wow. Did I just die for no... Okay, wow. Okay, I got tricked hardcore. Wow. Double nano management. So that explains why this... Wow. Okay, I totally didn't see that coming. I never seen the mad combo in Bandgun. Damn. Yeah, we didn't have a whole lot of information on the corp. Maybe that's a good reason to catalogger. Like, I felt like I wasn't in a hurry, but also it's true, we don't know what the list is. But yeah, this was, to me, this was totally out of the blue. I used both of my stone ships because I didn't realize that this was the deck at all. Wow. All right. Well, that's how it goes sometimes. I'll be more watchful for that. Yeah, like that was so out of the blue. I don't feel super bad about not playing around that, but the better your position is, the more you can afford to play around random bullshit, I guess. So I guess I like Kagglescap's line to go and check with Catalogger, because then it's like, okay, I get more info on what deck I'm actually up against, and if it is a combo deck, I can delay the combo pieces from reaching the hand. Ritual, sure gamble. I mean, it's not the best. I feel like we can do better. This is better. Yeah, so I think objectively speaking, it was better um, to do that. So just a small thing to learn from. Because yeah, every once in a while someone's gonna throw some weird shit at you, and then it's good to play in a way where you minimize the ways that you can lose. And I was sort of playing in a way where I was assuming a lot about the list that I was against based on what kind of bandgun stuff I've played against before. Ooh. Interesting. Oh, it would be so good to transfer, but like yeah, SMC overclock now is it's probably not the way, or is it? I just overclock something random so I can go down to 3 cards. Yeah, fair enough. I think the remote feel like that's less likely to be rest right now. Yeah, okay, good. So we get after image. I guess technically I don't need to take this successful run, but it's fine. Here, and then we get the draw. Okay, that's nice. So we got those cards out of the hand. It makes it easier to get the lat draw on these coming turns. Draw. Sure, I guess we can install this just to get the DZMC. Get a buck. Another SMC. Double advance. What am I afraid of? Could be SDS. Could be Charlotte, or it could be a trap. Could also just be like clearinghouse. SMC transfer might be good here. Get through this, and then this is vulnerable. That does feel like a line. No further action. Winchester, and we can. Ooh. I mean, if this is just a random trap deck, we might just die. But I feel like I'm okay with that. I'm okay with just dying to random stuff. Cerebral. Yeah, that's fine. And then at least we know what we're up against. So I assume this is like a measured response, clearinghouse kind of deal. I think we can pop this for a mantle now. It does make it really hard to get the lat draw. Yeah. But yeah, it is what it is. So I think, yeah, we wanna try to get like rigging up for the cataloger. Ooh, and we have Unity now. We can pitch the Azimat. So we could draw, install 2, and then discard the Azimat. Sure. That's fine. Yeah, we need to dig to find our stuff, but we have all the breakers we need. So advancing this. Yeah, the thing is, like, we don't know how all in on traps this deck is. So if this is like Erdika Cipher, I guess I'll look up how much influence Erdika Cipher is. I guess it's like 2? Erdika 2. The Overriders is 2. I mean, I feel you would play Message Chess for in this, but that's not necessarily true. But if this is another Overwriter and we transfer here, we're fine against that. So I'm okay with trying that. I guess Colossus here is bad. I'm not playing around that. Arquette. Okay, a little bit annoying. Actually very annoying. Sure. Break this. Yeah. So the other influence is either going to so we can break the loose credits thing and then just hit the remote. I think that makes the most sense. Draw, run the remote, and we survive Erdika. Is that too cautious? We can draw once. I think it's fine. Draw. It's okay. Okay, it's Charlotte. So the influence is probably 3 of these. 3 cerebral, 3 spin is what I would guess. And then I feel like we need to keep the cataloger. So Coalescence could be nice for spec work. Maybe we don't need 2 DZMZ, 6 memory is probably enough, so we can just wait for the Anacam. But yeah, I guess the main point is now we die anytime we can't survive a measured response. But we did draw this stone ship. So we can use that. So we coalescence and stone ship. Oh, and I actually, I guess we can't get measured response at all right now. Ooh, rigging up. Okay. This is good. A little bit wary of just losing to a random Colossus, to be honest. So maybe I'll try to wait for the Anicam. Actually, I can just install Mantle. But I don't have to do it this turn. Because we want to have a lot of clicks left over after we do the cataloger run. Yeah. Palangi is nice. We can charge it. We can install another mantle. That seems fine. Sure. Yeah, now the the game is just coming down to these cataloger plays, which I don't like a lot. There's still another cataloger in the deck. I want to make use of the mantle credits, but at the same time, I don't want to take too much time here to pressure. I assume there's SDS and Basalt. So now that I think about it, it would be nice to have like an extra program. I guess we could pitch a mantle. There's another mantle. But it's not really what we want to do. Okay, fine. We go for this. Because with more time, there's also more time to reinforce. Break this for 5. Sure. Mesny Chestful. That's annoying. But yeah, that's to be expected. Okay, I guess I don't know what the influence is here anymore. Because this is also 2. So we cataloger. Wall-to-wall spin Dr. Clearinghouse Pharaohs. This is this is probably our nightmare matchup, to be honest. We want wall-to-wall on the bottom. Spin Doctor Clearinghouse, then Pharaohs, I guess. So many face downs in archives, I almost want to check. Let me write. So Pharaohs, clearing, spin, and wall to wall. Okay. Yeah, this is a bit of a nightmare. Because you usually don't play this kind of deck. But all of the ice is like actually really annoying versus this. We've been having trouble drawing the Anicams. So we know Pharaohs has been drawn. There's still 3 cards we don't know on the top of the deck. I would love to get the Anicam. They have not been showing up. Um, check archives. Yeah, I guess that's fine. We're not using our stealth credits for anything else this turn. Double basalts. Wow. So adding the other basalt to HQ makes sense, but also means that we can't get measured response. Anicam. Oh, that's nice to see. Is there any way we could die? Angelique is... I don't think there's Angelique in here. Threat 3, you can use her, but we do have Stone Ship if he starts Angeliquing us, so that's fine. We can pop it after the first 2. So now Clearinghouse has been drawn. And presumably installed too. Draw. Right, so next card is spin, then it's wall to wall. We know there's a basalt in hand. We don't have multi-access for HQ in this list. We kind of rely on the continuous pressure of running, but against this list, that's kind of hard to do. So we mostly just run when we have transfers, I guess. Yeah. Who would have known that hitting hitting a cerebral is awkward? We have played one spec work. This overclock. Like, I assume this is Clearinghouse. And I'd like to trash that at some point. But this could, like... This could also be cerebral, but do we care? Nah, it's okay. It's fine if it's cerebral, I think. And it's not. Right. And, alright, we still can't get measured response. Very good. So we just Stone Ship. And we good. Okay, so now there's been... yeah, the card in the remote is spin. And it got rest. Okay. So we could assume these are agendas that got pitched. We want to run this and force the pop. We can survive measured response with the chart rooms. Question is if we draw before. There's a gamble left in the deck. There's no commission. There's a spec. There's 2 spec work. There's 1 rigging up. Yeah, it's fine to draw first, I guess. And we can run. Market. Oh, I was going to say there's no reason to rest, but actually it's really expensive to break with this, so we are getting taxed 2 credits to force the spin pop. Right, one unseen and a clearinghouse. Alright, it's looking a lot like a 6 agenda list for sure. I think, I guess propeller could be useful, but I don't know that we have room for it in our rig. So I think I'm just going to install this coalescence, and we might spec work the propeller later. And that's fine. Oh, actually, in order to threaten Cataloger, I kind of need to have it installed. But I could, because I want to do it click 1. This, I think, is a wall-to-wall. And I don't think we need to go after that aggressively, do we? So this could be like Pharaohs. How much is Pharaohs again? 7. So this would cost all the money. And we'd be 10 strength. And the pressure spike is not ready to deal with that yet. But we would just take a tag and bounce, which is not bad, and then wall-to-wall can't get rest. Logjam would be bad. Colossus would be bad. I think we draw first. So with another mantle, Colossus is fine. Okay. Fine, let's wait. But then the spec works are not doing anything. This is so awkward. Let me think. We haven't seen any Colossus. Doesn't mean that there isn't. Let's chill for a turn. I don't know if this is a mistake. Yeah, I don't think I think I want to wait for the spec work here. I guess we can save these. Yeah, this ended up being really awkward. Wall to wall, yep. So we got an advancement on Cialendra. Yeah, this is what I was a little bit worried about, is that, okay, then Cialendra gets the on-encounter effect. But we're not going to run there a billion times. Okay, so we can do this. Does transferring make any sense? So it would cost us... After is 3. Ocket is... wow. Yeah, Ocket is 5 just to break 1. That's terrible. Is there another overclock? There is one. So if we spec work, we might get an overclock that we can play on this remote. Well, I've been wanting to play the spec work. We can pitch the Anacam. Well, actually, if we, this is, I may not be thinking clearly enough here, because the stone ships don't do anything if we just like draw all of our cards. So I may have been misplaying this. Like maybe you actually just kind of click for credits, and that's okay. But yeah, let's keep 2 cards in the stack. So this rigging up is just not gonna do anything this game. And we can mantle overclock. Well, pharaohs would be bad. I guess maybe I should go Palangi here. So we have 2 cards to to potentially survive this. Okay. So actually putting agendas back in R&D is actually good for us. I don't know if there's Angelique, so I guess I'm keeping the overclock, because otherwise I'll draw this. And now I'm hoping that concentration is very high in R&D in going for this. Because we're just running out of cards now. Ooh, logjam. Jesus. 7. Yeesh. So it's 7, and then it's what is this? 7, 5. That's 12. 6 more. 18. We have 20. We're gonna be at $2, and then maybe win the game. All right. We go for it. I don't know that there's gonna be a better time. It would be amazing if we win now. Oh my god. Ugh. What is this? Okay. You can have the cerebral. Overwriter. Sub hedge. Yeah, this is terrible. I guess we could click for credit and trash this. Maybe that's worth it. I don't know. Okay. And all we have at this point is clicking for bucks. So in like 3 turns we can go again, maybe? No, because tree line on this. Yeah, the fact that pressure spike is so bad is a problem. So that's 2 turns. He's gonna see hedge next. Seeing hedge. Gov sub. Install. Okay, that's fine. And we go and get more money. We don't draw because we wanna we wanna keep the ability to draw with Stone Ship to survive any kills. Advance, advance. Oh, was that installed last turn? Okay. If it's clearinghouse, we can Stone Ship to survive it. And I'm gonna, so it might be, but that's okay. Because we'll just Stone Ship and survive it in that case. And if it's cerebral, that's a big win. We've only seen one clearinghouse. It's a bit of an issue. This is, how much is this to break? You need to boost pressure spike 3 times. So that's 9. 9, 14, 20. So we could go this turn, I think. Credit, run. Credit, run. C logjam. Wait. Boost, boost, boost. Break 9. Then it's yeah, that's 9. 5. 5 is 14. Lose 3. Oh, actually, we just keep the mantle credits and we can just go right now. And then we lose less. We might win. I mean, okay. Clearinghouse, Kakador, Kesselroyd, send a message. Stealing 1 send a message is not enough. But I guess we have to. We might just die to measured response now, but weirdly I haven't seen any of those. There could be an agenda here, I guess. But we can't take it this turn. So it's gonna be Kessel. No, we just die. Alright, GG. I feel we were, unless the agendas are like all in HQ, that feels actually very unlucky, because there should be like a lot of agendas in R&D at that point. I'll take a quick break and be right back. are back. Let me check the chat a little bit. Playing the fun game, yeah. It's just if you don't know what you're up against, you're more likely to hit the cerebral. But still, yeah, if you know the cerebral is there, it's just like, do you hit the cerebral or nah? And if you, I mean, the scores aren't super threatening, I guess, but yeah, I think. I mean, it's still like if you don't, you you might have to respect. Well, I don't know. You might have to respect the basalt scores and send a message scores. I guess you can kind of just like get agendas out of the game if the runner is not contesting, and that's kind of the threat. You get agendas out of the game. You get your eye stressed with send a message, and eventually you'll like gain enough value or something. But like even if you hit the cerebral like I did, there's still game in there, and I feel like, yeah, I feel like it was okay. I just like didn't see the agendas when I needed to. Because we did cataloger how many times? I guess it was just 2 times, but like there may have been a lot of agendas in HQ, but he shuffled back so many times. At least the impression I got was that like most of the agendas are in R&D. Now maybe he tricked me and like there was a bunch of agendas in HQ. But I think, I mean, I'd seen a lot of the cards that were gonna go into HQ. But I guess you could ruse and just like discard non-agendas if you wanted to. Anyway, yeah, weird games. I mean, the first one was just a winning position that I lost to a very unexpected deck. And could have played more carefully. Yeah, but let's do 1 or 2 more games. So far the deck isn't looking great, and I think, I mean, definitely has problems, the list, but there's also some like cool perks in it. But also like the lists we have been facing are like very not representative of the metagame. Speaking of not representative of the metagame, we have Thule. But maybe our tech is gonna come in handy this game. I would also like to see the Anachems earlier in the game. I think I was on 2. Yeah, it's 2 Anachem. Or did it? Actually, let me check my what the actual. Yeah, it's 2 Anachem. Okay, so this is some kind of barf Thule. A lot of these, I've faced some lists here where they score aggressive trend setting and then Mr. Hendrick becomes really annoying. But this hand isn't great for contesting the first turn. So I think I'll let this like initial turn slide. Ooh, or or do we transfer? Oh man. Yeah, that would stop any score here. I kind of like that. Warm reception. So I'm fine with keeping the tag because I think usually Thule doesn't. Well, actually, I don't know. It could be on tag punishment here, but hypoxia is not really common. Actually, Spin Doctor and End of the Line could kill us if we go down to 3 cards. So maybe let's not go down to 3 cards, or maybe let's just clear the tag. So we could trash this, clear the tag and mission. Yeah, I mean, that's just good enough of a turn. So some of the games with this you'll win just from the surprise value of transfer, which feels a little bit cheap. But then on the flip side, if they knew about it, they would have to ice HQ, so it slows them down a little. Should we just transfer again? They didn't rest on the first one. Maybe with this new card, they can get down to the correct amount. I would like to get Azimat out so I can actually like trash these things for free. I think I want to chill a little bit. Ooh. So SMC DZMZ is sets up the ability to fetch Azimat for $2. Seems good. But we could just get hit with an aggressive trend-setting score here. Oof. I gotta be honest, I hate the warm reception, spin doctor, working prototype stuff. It's just gross. Okay, there we have the trend setting score. So that's annoying. But we can pay the click. We can afford to pay the click. Server force spin then. And okay, if we ritual, we go to. We need to use 2 clicks for this, so I think we need to just go and get this, and then pay the extra click, and we can install this. Take a buck. So there is spin, so they might want to rest. All right. So the really tricky thing though is, so the aggressive trend setting combos with Hendrik. So if you access Henrik and you choose to lose clicks instead of taking core, then if you lose clicks instead of taking core, then you're out of clicks, and if you trash Henrik then you can't pay for aggressive trend setting, and so they have an extra click on their next turn. It's very annoying. Okay. I would love to transfer here, but there's the option of dodging. We know that this is Spin Doctor. The working prototype needs to get trashed, that's for sure. So that's 2 clicks again. If we hit Henrik now, it's sort of fine, I guess. Oh my god. Yeah. The salt is real. This is just very miserable. Leads to these grindy games. I think I want to get a mantle. Okay, let's transfer now. And we pay for that. We have enough cards not to die to end of the line, so I think we can afford to check the board a little bit. Oh, that's another spin. Server force also spin. We do want to trash these. And we're out of clicks. So I don't know if this is a tagging list. If it's something like planogram, hypoxia, end of the line, we could be in trouble. But I don't think it is. I think it's a more grindy kind of thing. But actually a good question as to what the influence spend is on. Because it wouldn't be too surprising to see end of the line. Okay. This looks a lot like a Hendrik. We can run this. I'm happy to trash a bladderwort. Like this looks like it's a list with no or very little ice. Yeah, I guess letting them have a click here is fine. So I might go and actually now trend setting is already triggered, so going after the Hendrik now is sort of like fine, because I can lose one click and then the rest is okay. So I feel like going after this makes sense. Mr. Hendrik, and yeah, we can lose a click. So it's like, I feel like this is fine for us. It's just very, okay, so now we know the server 9 is duped. It just takes so much time to resolve this matchup. Like, I feel like it's good for us, it just takes forever to go through the motions. Forge a trash, okay, no, we don't want to do that. Yeah. Which makes me curious why they printed trend setting, because it's like, like Aris was pretty NPE for this reason. It creates these kinds of games, and aggressive trend setting is not as extreme, but it's in the same vein of things. Okay, we know Spin Doctor, Jupstad. This is a new card that we probably want to check. So let's check it, I guess. Wage workers. Yeah, fine. Just draw and clear a tag. Or actually, yeah, draw and clear a tag is fine, yeah. I was gonna maybe rigging up for Cataloger, but you could Spin Doctor to deny the draw and then end of the line. And I guess we're not winning that exchange then. We know there's Jupstad to dodge the transfer, unfortunately. this might be a turn to just try to get back up on money a little bit. Yeah, that's better. Coalescence. Like, yeah, it's. I kind of don't want them to have an extra click now. They could score another trend setting. I guess next turn there's also a line to overclock jupe stat and then transfer. That could be an okay thing. Man, I'm having to do awkward things. Like, I kind of don't want to install my breakers, but I also want to get the lat draw. But then there's just a spin doctor rest anyway. Yeah, it's a waste of money. Like, they didn't want to deny the lat draw before, but I think they probably should. And it's not worth $3 for a card that does nothing. I guess we don't need to trash the jupe stat if we just... if we check the new cards. Yeah, it's a okay, thank God. Thank God there wasn't another score of this shit. So do we try to force a jupe stud rest here? Because I feel like that might be fine. Let's try it. It might backfire if they have the right cards. Wow. Okay, not resing. Okay, I guess we clear. So we still don't know these. The fact that it's not getting rest, it makes me feel like it's Hendrik or something like that. But it could also just be a working prototype that he's saving for a good time, so it doesn't get trashed. Although I feel like maybe you just res it right away with the spin doctor to make use of it. Okay, so there's actually ice here. Okay. I think this is time to get rid of this spin doctor so we can start lat drawing. And we'll see if it's a pop or not. It's a pop. And I would like to make use of Azimat if I can. Okay. So if these are Hendrik, we would like to overclock here first. But if these are agendas, we don't. We don't want to run into an agenda last click. So let's go here. Mega Pre. Okay. I guess we just take a buck then. Again, we don't want to run into an agenda. We don't want to trigger trend setting right now. Oh, actually, maybe I should have gone draw, install Palangi to get the DZMC. Okay. So basically we're saying that that could be overwriter. I'm not very patient today. So basically we're saying it's overwriter or it's salvo testing. Overwriter means we take 2 corp, he goes to 0. If I cataloger here, and I want to steal 2 agendas, I would have to take 1 core. I'm out of transfers. There's no line for that. I'm happy just guessing that this is a salvo, I think. Well, so the ontos can get scored from hand then. It's fine. Okay, let's... we're not doing good today, are we? Wait. I don't want to trash that. Oh shit. Overclock, Palangi. And then we can check for an agenda on server 11. And I'm at 1 less click. Okay. Erdica. Okay. Annoying. We can make 1 run here. There's nothing that we die to that I can think of. Sure, getting rid of that is nice. If we catalog her now, well, we might not be able to get in next turn anyway. So we draw. I'm getting very rused this stream. It's like the most tilting stream ever. Alright, so we want a ritual. But yeah, asymating cards out of hand is a good shout, because it doesn't trigger trend setting, and we can get all the salvos or whatever. So I do like that as an idea. Let's do that. Jupstad. Sure. And then we draw. Breaking up the Sanicam. I feel like they're like this deck plays so many agendas. There like should be a flood, but I'm just like not hitting the right cards. Okay, if we spec work now, we go to six cards. Okay. Propeller is great because we probably don't need more barrier breaking capabilities than that for like the entire game. So this one mantle might be also be enough for the entire game, but I don't know. And we can simulchip back for this. Yeah, so we could go mantle. And cataloger. And we just get this. I would like to get back to hitting HQ. So drafter is annoying now. Double advance, is that another cerebral? And do we risk it? So if there were Ontos in hand, they would be scored. If we run R&D and a drafter is rezzed, then we can safely run this. Well, I guess safely if we draw a card first, because it could be Urtica. We found out. I think that was server 11, I believe. Urtica. Let's run it and risk it being a drafter. Onto, which we want to steal. We don't want him to have working prototype or Henrik. Actually, Henrik is more fine than Regolith. So working prototype. Rego. Hendrik. Onto. Like, I feel like this should be an agenda, but like... but should doesn't mean that it is. At least in that case, he goes to $1. I mean, yeah, there is still Urtiga. Yeah, I really don't want to play around Urtica. So we try to hit something in HQ. Yeah, we could just run back. Actually, I was gonna hit HQ to maybe azimuth something, but then we might take core. That might still be the best play though. Yeah, let's do that. We do take core. Okay. We'll assume we don't need this pressure spike this game. I think. Okay, we have 4 points. If this is a salvo, we're sad. Oh, it looks like it is. Oh man, like none of my calls are correct today. Okay, so Hendrik has been drawn. We have a chance to snipe it out of hand. This game might still be fine, honestly. We still don't know what server 9 is. Yeah. Let's run here. Warm reception, we know there's a Hendrik. There's 2 other unknowns in HQ. We have the bucks to pay instead of taking core. Do we like spec work a mantle? Sure. Server 9. What the hell is server 9? Okay. Oh, I think I knew that actually. I'm so stupid. Oh man. Yeah, that's a bad play. I'm not doing the best of plays right now. But that's okay. So we hope so there's Rego now. I think that's good enough to want to see 4 more cards, and if we see a salvo, we win the game. We know there's Rego. We know there's Hendrik. I'm betting those are the cards that just got installed. Drafter is actually okay. So let's... actually, we can... If there's no res... Oh, there is a res. Okay. Bladderwort. That's okay. Break this. Cataloger. We want spin on the bottom. Then prototype, then wage workers, then ingoton. And then we steal the ingoton. And I guess we go... Do we go and trash the bladderwort? Sure, and I think it's okay to give a click now. Yeah, I even had a note that server 9 is Jupstad, but I didn't consult my notes. Okay, so he has 4 clicks. That's fine. So bottom was spin and was working prototype. So he just drew wage workers, yeah. Do we know what server 15 is? Oh, that's the one we assume is Henrik. Okay. So I think it's... Ooh, top card is prototype. We don't like spin. We can credit gamble. Run HQ. Oh, we just drew another gamble, which made me think that we didn't draw at all. Get rid of this for the hell of it. See another one. Oh, maybe that card isn't Henrik then. Could still be, but... And now we get lat draw. After image. We don't really need it, but... Okay, it was not Henrik. So now working prototype has been seen. And if they draw again... Okay, so that very much looks like a Henrik. Top card is spin. So we can actually run... is Simulchip left? No. We are going to run out of runs on R&D. But I think the most we can do with this is run, trash the spin, run again, use another propeller counter, use cataloger. At least I'll do that for stream to not have the game take too much time. Yeah, we know there's no spin doctor on the board. We can gamble before doing this. I don't think it matters. No, wait. Gamble to, yeah, run, and then, okay, and then we can still click. We encounter this. I guess the credits do matter if the game goes on. Okay. We're getting out of this silly little game. Oh, thank God. We're picking up a win. Can I do something? Okay. Looks like JNet is laggy. Oh, thank God. Oh, I hate these decks so much. But it's nice to know that we can pick up wins against like a wide variety of different janky stuff. I mean, of course, like, yeah, the shell game decks, they do come down a lot to just like, did you hit the trap? In this case, we hit the overwriter and we didn't hit the salvo, and we still managed to pull it through. So that's like that's a good sign. That means like, okay, the Azimuth plan is like pretty good, and the catalogers were doing a good job making sure we can actually control R&D and close the game out. Okay, cool. I think, yeah, we survived. Oh man. Janet casual metagame, yeah. Let's do one last game. Comments on the deck. I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, shaky. Probably not as good as the reg lats, but it is fun trying new things. I do like having the transfers. Let me remember to write that it's for streaming. Oh, that's Janice, I think, from the chat. Okay. Ob. This could be interesting. If it's the rig shoot ob. If it's the rig shoot ob, we are cooked. Because like, yeah, you can bypass a Stavka. You can bypass for Sato. But I don't think we can get into, well, I think it's hard for us to get into a server. I guess the transfers might help us like oppress the corp. I think we keep this because we have so much draw. And in case he doesn't respect the transfer, we have that immediately. But like, yeah, getting, if an SDS gets scored and just snipes like an after image, that could be really bad because we only have one simul chip. But I mean, I guess there's some play in the matchup, so I don't know. It'll be interesting. Yeah, I don't know whether to just like challenge here, but I don't think so. If we ritual, we don't get the Latra unless we get to rigging up. But I think it's the only way to play this turn. And then we just have to play some cards, I think. Coalescence, get the mantle down. Think having the SMC installed already might be good on the next turn if we want to like ritual and then immediately overclock. Might save us a click. Until one thing we would like to do next turn is to play transfer if we can. Wow, okay. So that really makes this look like an asset off. I mean, I don't have many other explanations unless that's like triple spin doctor or something. Okay, there's spec work. Spec work, transfer. Gets past most things. But I guess we kind of want to get an Asimat out. With all this stuff. But then we can't challenge this. Okay, I think we'll just have to do this. Okay, good. It is acid off. Looks like. So we could install 2 here and try to get the lat draw. Not using the money that we made or that we have then, but get the draw. I think that's fine. Looks like we get it. Wall to wall. So yeah, acid ob. That seems like that should be a doable matchup. Now these lists can go in a lot of directions, so we don't know if it's like measured response. But that is a common include. Okay, ritual. Ooh. we can rigging up for after image, but we also want to use the azimuth. So I think this turn is clearing the wall to wall, drawing commission. So we might as well draw first, I guess, in case that changes our mind. SMC, that's okay. There is a chance that this is also like a mad combo list, in which case we have the chart room. We don't want to die to mad twice this stream. Tide, that doesn't reveal much. That's pretty standard for any asset list. Actually, the non-asset lists too. Okay. We are in memory trouble. So we want to poke. So we could poke, we could draw, and we could play 2 cards. We could just draw first. I kind of want to keep this still in case it's some kind of kill. Draw. DZMC is nice. Poke. Excavator. Okay, good. Get rid of that. And then we can DZMC mantle. Or maybe... yeah, we can do that, but then again, we have memory problems. Immediately. Until we draw the next one. Do we get the SMC out of the way first? I think so. And we don't use it now because we want to get to play the sure gamble first. But like we're not dead, so it's fine, and we control the board. We're doing okay. Not being dead is usually a good metric. It means you're doing well. Next player on Pravdevo's traps. Yeah, that would be that would be exactly that would be a true JNet experience. Oh, and I have some thoughts on what you wrote, Kagoska, but let me take a turn first. This. We can get one of these, and we can still get the commission in. Sure, let's clear that. And draw. Ooh, Anakim. It's a shame we can't rigging up and get the draw. But I guess we can do it next turn. So Kagoska wrote, while seeing you play the Thule deck is not fun, it does teach people like, or fun in quotations, it teach people like me to play more patiently. I would have rushed it to get to something and I enjoy more. Yeah, and like that's totally fair. Like, I'm just venting. Like, it is frustrating to play some decks, but it is part of the game, and so it is useful to learn how to play against those things. And part of playing Netrunner is also realizing that, like, yeah, you're not always going to play against the decks that you like to play against. It's a big, complicated game, and there's a lot of things you need to know. So, like, yeah, those games are valuable too. And then if you don't feel like it should be part of the game, I guess we'll tell the design team, we'll tell the SBT team, and we'll try to change it in that way. But the best attitude in the meantime is like, yeah, um, we try to just learn to play against those things. Oh, do we still pop this? I think I can wait a turn because now I can mantle to get a bit of a discount on this SMC. So this turn I want to pop this. I want to draw. A sieve makes it look like more of a regular basalt deck, but this could still be unmeasured response actually. So we draw. So I know I want to install the mantle, but I could draw, run archives, then install mantle. So it's ritual, we run archives. It should force the pop, and then the mantle we can get for free, and then it makes the SMC cheaper. Right, do we get any information? Maskirovka Lamplighter. Lamplighter is pretty standard even in lists that don't run a Maze Amusement, so we still don't necessarily know what it is, but it could be that. Bass. Interesting. For wage. Okay. Is this trying to combo me? No, it's just to score. Wow. That's pretty sick. I gotta be honest. That's I guess looks like we're taking too much time to set up, but this is honestly kind of wild because like I feel like we were doing pretty well cleaning up the board. But this deck is just like going off. But okay, we're definitely popping this. What are we getting though? Propeller, Unity, I guess Propeller. Sure. If this is Afshar, that's bad. Things are looking really bad right now. I think we probably should force the usage of a basalt counter here. But if there's a 3/2 in hand, and we don't either steal that or the slash and burn, then we are cooked. Yeah. I don't think the wage matters right now. It's just the slash and burn, so we don't need to contest the remote. Right. If it's a measured list, I think we have to risk this ice being a code gate, honestly, which it feels very bad. But I think that's what we do. Right, so add slash and burn mills another card. That's an Afshar. Yeah, this could very well be Afshar, is the issue. But yeah, I think we have to go for it. So let's just fingers crossed. Okay. Okay. That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. So maybe it's not over yet. We don't know that this is an end of the line list, but I think what we still do is, yeah, I'm guessing there's measured response. We still want to try to fetch this slash and burn out of there. So I'm gonna transfer again. While we can. Okay, so if there was another 3-2, now we just lose. I hope not. That would be like really bad. If there's, because then it's 2 agendas out of 5 and I need to hit one of them and whiffing 2 times in a row. But maybe he just doesn't have it. Well, he's thinking, so maybe he just doesn't have it. In which case, we might be able to transfer again. We might be able to cataloger again. Maybe the game is not over. Although if we cataloger, there's this mind game with Basalt Spire, where if we put the card we want to steal on the top, you can Basalt Spire to trash that and then add it to HQ. So there's this mind game if like, do you think they're gonna use Basalt or not? That's actually happened when I was practicing for Worlds. I guess 1 credit off. Wait, 1 credit off what? Because measured response doesn't work. Is it some other combo? I'm curious now. I mean, this could still be a mad deck, actually, in which case floating tags is kind of wild. Yeah, it feels like this lat is like it's too sluggish to deal with Ob because it kind of just vomits out stuff. But okay, we can ritual. I don't think Cataloger is threatening enough yet. Ritual. I guess we want to get this popped. And then I wonder if spin and Bass shuffle back makes sense. Bass is letting you score out from here. And we only have 1 cataloger left. Also hitting R&D now before the Unity is down is not so great. So I kind of want to rigging up the Unity, and I kind of want to draw another card. But then we have to get rid of this Azimuth, unfortunately. I guess it served its purpose. And we draw, and then do we pop here? I guess we shouldn't need to. Oh, there's Nano. Yep, that does it. GG. that was a cool list. I feel like so part of this is exploring like if the deck is actually any good. And while I've been doing well in some games on JNet sometimes, this stream definitely didn't go well. Um, and I think, yeah, I think this game especially shows that like sometimes this deck is just too slow. Um, you have this midway point, like the transfers are really good early and they're really good later, but you have kind of an issue setting up a situation where you can just get through the one ice on HQ to transfer, because like even if you can SMC for the right breaker, after image also needs a mantle, and then like yeah, some of these decks can kind of like click tax you. Um, so yeah, cool deck. I mean, I haven't seen this before. I'm really curious if this is also on Mad because it has like the extra click combo pieces. So you can like fast advance out with this. And I quite like that like the the bass slash combo lets you fast advance 5-3. That's actually really nice. Like I'm gonna save this replay because that's a really cool um, interaction. A lot of the Wayland decks, their main issue is like not being able to not um, having trouble scoring a Basalt Spire. Like one of the main goals is often to score a Basalt Spire, and then you're usually like doing really well from there. This applies to Nuvem. This applies to some Obelisks, um, and if you can just score it from hand, I mean that's crazy. But yeah, Bass plus Slash and Burn. That's like it's a nice combo. So yeah, very cool. Um, so I guess we can conclude that while this deck feels cool, it might not be the best. But I encourage people to try like some more stealth. Like maybe I'll try this too. I guess it's not here anymore in the links, but um, the eighth place Hershiko from Worlds, the stealth Hershiko, that looks interesting. Um, but I think that's gonna wrap it up for today. But like I'll wait around for just a bit to take any questions. I'll see like if we got any comments. Um, Coast Runner says, "Is Anakim the best shaper console right now? It seems a bit harder to build around without Dirty Loner and Trick Shot." I feel like that's a tricky one. Like Lilipad just looks better, but then Anakim like it gives you a bit better kill protection, whereas Lilipad gives you kill protection, but you need to do more to achieve it. Um, they give like kind of an equal amount of draw, but then like you get the extra memory with Lilipad. So, um, yeah, I don't know. Even after having played both a lot, I guess I guess I would say I'm not sure because I feel like maybe you could. And I mean, we saw this before a bit too with the mag lists, where you play the Lilipad and the DZMCs, and then instead of the slow engine I was doing with Knickknack and stuff, you play the fermenters, and maybe that's just better than the lat. Although I just didn't get to play that a lot, so that's still something to explore. So honestly, I can't really answer if Anakem or the other one is better. Um, it just yeah, in this deck when you're looking for like a lot of burst economy, I feel like the Anakem makes sense. Um, but the numbers on Lilipad are just better. So it's like yeah, in a kill meta, Anakem has like a little better, but it's hard to say. Um, Kagoscab says, after the game, do you have any thoughts on the state of fast events? Do you hope for a clot-like card in the future? Um, that's a good question. No, it's hard to say, but like, it's. I feel like it's very hard to assess because we like a lot. There's so many different ways for decks to fast advance. And some of them I feel like are okay, and some of them I feel like are kind of bullshit, which is very subjective. But like, Nebula, for example, I think is like an ID as an ID is just like a bad idea. I don't like it. I don't like that the play pattern is kind of like I just play an operation and then you come and get one of HQ or R&D or else I'm gonna score out. Like that's just kind of boring and like um, it feels like too cheap of a way to fast advance. And I feel like fast advance it shouldn't be like impossible, but it should be harder to achieve. Um, the Bass combo that I just faced is like yeah, there's some deck building restrictions to that you need the Bass and the Wage Workers, and you also need to have a Basalt and a Slash in hand. So it's like I feel like that feels like more of a fair fast advance, even though it felt like very powerful in the moment. It's like okay, well, it's at least a decent amount of setup you need to do, so that seems like more fair, okay, fast advance. I think biotic, or as it's called now, nano management, is like a very it's a very um, how to say this fair. I think it's a very fair card. When someone scores out with nano management, it feels like yeah, that was pretty reasonable. I mean, you're paying for that operation. You're often paying influence for it. It's a card slot and so on. So like management is a good card, but I'm usually not super mad that someone scores out with nano management. It feels more bullshit that someone is like petty cashing out something almost for free. So yeah, I just want fast advance to cost a little bit and not be super easy to set up. Something like Hollow Man is like fine. You pay uh, like 5 credits to score an agenda, and it can be trashed and so on. Um, so yeah, as long as there's a little bit of counterplay against it. So right now, I don't know. It feels in a decent spot, and Nebula is not too popular right now because it just got nerfed. But I still don't like that style of fast advance. I would personally. Um, so fast advance seems like it's in an okay place. I guess one of the main ways we fast advance now is like moon pool. I'm not. I guess not sure how I feel about that. In general, a Yuko feels it can be annoying, but it feels kind of fair. Honestly, the most bullshit thing about a Yuko, in my opinion, is just fought. Like all the other cards feel pretty fair. Like Moonpool is annoying and very good. Some people have said it should be banned, but I don't know that I agree. Um, because again, it's like yeah, it's $3 where nano management is 4, but it also requires more things than the nano management to actually score. Um, so overall, it seems like it feels fair. The Nebula style is kind of bullshit. I never liked Claude. I don't like that there's like a card that's necessary to like shut down an entire archetype of deck. Although sometimes it's just like a part of the deck is fast advance. But I usually don't. Yeah, I don't like that. There's a thing that like hard shuts it down. I guess. Um, Clot was never like super fun to me as a card. So I'm fine with us not having any clot. And I would hope that they don't find it necessary to print that. I would rather see that if they feel if they feel like that is needed, I feel like they probably messed up somewhere else. You know, I feel like then it's probably that you made fast advance too strong and you maybe need to nerf something rather than introducing a card that's like not very fun to play with. Um, that yeah, that's what I would say. Um, it's sort of like how some people felt about Turbine. Like Brandon was talking about how it's like, yeah, Turbine, or it used to when you had Cleaver and Buzzsaw, just like nullifies all of my ice and I can't play anymore. And Clot can be like that against some decks. To be fair, it's like that if you completely rely on fast advance, but still, like that general type of design, the silver bullet stuff, I don't love it. Um, is fast advance that big of a problem in the game right now? Yeah, I guess on the same topic, I don't think it's a big problem, no. But I guess we'll see what it's like going forward. It's something that's like if it becomes too good, it can always be an issue because it feels like uninteractive for the runners. Like, well, I never got a chance to do anything, or like, I guess technically you have a chance to run HQ and like hit the right card, but that doesn't feel great for the runner because like a lot of the times it's like not feasible to get into HQ in time or whatever. Um, it will be published soon. Yeah, please publish the. That was a cool list. Is Madani Lat a real consideration? To be honest, I never really tried it, but what I didn't like about it is it feels like you're adding a lot of, how do I say this? You're adding a lot of stuff to do some cute things, like you get the discount from Madani, and that seems good. But then it's like you've drawn through your whole deck, and where is the actual engine? Like all you're doing is Madaniing with the DZMC combo, and then I'm not sure what you do, because yeah, it didn't seem like there was like a core rig there at the end of that whole thing, but maybe there is. So I guess it's still a consideration. It's just not something I'm thinking about. And maybe that's not even like the biggest consideration. I could see it being more of a consideration that you're losing out on the draw and also on the speed, like on the protection that the other consoles provide against like kill decks and stuff like that. I can see that making you like a lot less well-rounded, whereas Madani, maybe it like makes you better against ice in general, because like, oh, now it's like you have all these instant speed answers to the ice, but if you don't have the cards to like protect yourself, you might just die anyway. So I could see that being more the Madani issue. Yeah. Just steal the Fuji lols. I'm not sure what that's in reference to, but yes. In general, I would love core play become more toolboxy with numerous threats, but I will doubt we will get there soon. Maybe you could elaborate, Kagglescap, because I feel like so you might not like the way these manifest, and I kind of agree with that, but I feel like we're seeing a decent amount of different strategies. Like there's like I would just like them to be like in a different shape, but regardless, we do have a lot of different types of corps. I feel like right now we have multiple glacialists. We have some rush in like Nuvum, and some nebula lists. Like I saw Men on the Moon on like there was like a nebula with Vladisibirsk grid. What's it called? Vladisibirsk city grid, which was kind of cool, where you can business as usual on that to like fast advance stuff, which is kind of cool. There's been like PD fast advanced decks. There've been core damage PD fast advanced decks. There's been like built to last kind of grinder style decks with clearinghouse, measured response. Maybe those are not good actually, but still, we see them sometimes. There's like combo kill decks with Mad, and a Yuko is like tagging, killing style deck that's doing pretty well. Yeah, I mean, pure kill combo decks are always gonna be have issues, because if they just answer what your kill threat is, then they survive. Like so, we do have pure kill combo decks in Mad, but they're just not played a lot because people can just answer what the kill threat is with like Stone Ship or No Free Lunch, or they're able to trash like an important piece of the combo. There's Steel Skin Scarring too, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess we're not talking about the same thing, but I'm just saying. When I look at things, there seems like there's a lot of decks out there, I just don't like the design of a lot of the corps right now, but that's okay. Um, anyway, I think that's gonna be it for this stream. I'll wait a little bit again if there's any more questions. Um, I'm gonna see if I'm able to play the AMT on Sunday, and I think I might stream that. So stay tuned for that. You'll see it on the channel in the coming days if that's something I decide to do. And the idea is like I would like to qualify for the CBI if possible. I think the only way I can do that now is by winning an AMT. So that would either be this AMT or another upcoming one. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, looks like there's nothing else. So I would just like to say thanks everybody for watching. Thank you for chatting. Like the comments and stuff is it's really fun to have the back and forth. It makes the streaming so much better, so much more fun. So thank you. And yes, I'll try to make the meetup on the 29th. All right. See you all next time. I realized I'm actually not looking at the camera. See you all next time.